Before a single ball was kicked at the historic SoFi Stadium, a powerful, almost religious paradox has gripped the American sports psyche. This is not just a match, it is a post-mortem of a nation's soul. For decades, the U.S. men's national team was football's ultimate paradox. They had the resources, the sustainable economic structure, yet they lived in a perpetual state of invincible domestic growth, but banter club status on the world stage. Mocked. Fragility. But 2026 is different. This is not just a co-hosting gig. It is the dawn of world football in the land of opportunity. Welcome to the 90th Plus. Today we stand at the threshold. We reveal the ultimate post-mortem of how Mauricio Pochettino unleashed a new order. We analyze USA 4, Paraguay 1. To understand this 4-1 victory, you must understand the historical trauma of U.S. soccer. For years, they struggled to define their identity. They fluctuated between pragmatic rigidity and superstar egos, never quite achieving competitive integrity. There was this almost fragility when facing state-backed projects or traditional heavyweights. But the choice to co-host the 2026 World Cup was an audacious economic shift, a pledge to organic growth and ultimate disruption. The appointment of Mauricio Pochettino, a manager who understands the psychology of fragile giants, was the dawn of a clean break. He cleansed the squad. He started with culture, not cash. He demanded collective structure over individual marketing power. This isn't just the club of superstar egos like Pulisic and Reina anymore. Under Poche, it is a fully functional, fully funded, tactical tyranny. The 2026 US team is designed not just to compete, it is designed to asphyxiate you. And Paraguay was the first victim of this dawn. The first match was defined by a surgical application of controlled chaos. Pochettino didn't fluctuate. He adapted. He gave the midfield absolute tactical freedom to dominate the geometry of the pitch. USA operate now with a programmable structure that forces the opponent into impossible choices. The Pulisic-McKennie partnership in midfield isn't a passive recycle unit. It is a rapid vertical disruption. Paraguay, a team that often lives on gritty, unscripted chaos, found themselves locked inside a mechanical extreme. Look at minute 6. This wasn't luck, it was the surgical execution of a programmable construct. From the very first phase, Pochettino implemented a programmable control that neutralized Paraguay's specific physical intensity. Pulisic, operating now as an elite maestro, dictates from high positions, prioritizing direct, disruptive geometric changes over pure possession recycling. Let's deep dive into the historical post-mortem of this historic victory. Minute 6. The paradigm shifts. SoFi explodes. The Yanks fluctuating no more. An audacious vertical break orchestrated by McKennie. Look closely. This programmable construct was rehearsed 1,000 times. Every delivery, every block, every run is mapped out. Follerin Balogun, the first beneficiary of this programmability. Minute 30, 2-0, surgical. But the true historical rupture occurred at 45+4. Paraguay fluctuating, terrified by the programmable control. Balogun again, a brutal double forged on extreme discipline. This 3-0 halftime lead wasn't just a scoreboard disruption, it was the definition of history. For the very first time in US World Cup post-mortem, they led by 3 at the break. A terrifying lack of structure for the opponent, extreme structure for the Yanks. To understand this new order, we must dissect the human architecture. Pulisic, the ultimate maestro, creating not just geometry, but cultural disruption. Balogun, the mechanical extremity that finishes the program. And Reina. Even from the bench, his Trivela goal at 90+7 was the defining legacy of this new order. It proved that controlled chaos is a programmable commodity available from anyone in Pochese's fully functional machine. This final score exposes a terrifying paradox for the US market. These young pillars fluctuating no more. They were mocked for their perceived fragility, a banter club in a market that demands instant, ultimate success. But now the programmable structure has adapted. Sustainable growth through Pochettino's controlled chaos has defined a new tyranny. Let's proceed to the post-mortem verdict. What does this 4-1 victory truly reveal? It reveals Group D is fluctuating. USA fluctuated no more. Dawning. Poche's dawn. Dawn of world football tyranny. Europe observes. South America fluctuating. The audacity of this program is now terrifyingly clear. USA possesses the sustainable structure's fully functional tactical programmable control and ultimate disrupting stars. Paraguay was just the initial disruption. This isn't the club of past failures. Pochettino's programmability has disrupted everything. The controlled chaos is now an adapted commodity. Dawn. America observes, Europe observes, we observing dawning tyranny. What is your biggest takeaway from this historic post-mortem clash? Drop your Team A versus B Ultimate Team of the Season. A versus B predictions in the comments. Smash that subscribe button for the 90th plus, and we'll see you dawning on the next pitch.